Smashing PRs, looking aesthetic, getting more attention from girls. Being jacked is great, but to be jacked, you have to put on weight, to put on some muscle. But the dreaded words as a lifetime skinny guy is, you have to gain weight. Well, how do I gain weight? I eat so much all the time and I just can't put on the weight. I stay the same. I get even lighter when I eat more. Don't you get it? I have a fast metabolism. I just can't gain weight. It's not for me. I can't gain weight no matter how much I eat. This is what it's like to be skinny. When you're a skinny guy your whole life, you hear everyone talking about, oh, I'll eat one donut and I'll get fat. You're like, hey, I wish that was me. You just can't seem to put on any weight. My entire teenage years, I was pretty athletic and lean, but I could never put on muscle the way the other guys at school could. When I was about 14 or 15, I would see some other guys at school be a little bit bulky, a little bit stronger than me. They could put on that weight and put on that size way better than I could. And no matter how much I tried to eat more, it just didn't work. So I decided, yeah, it's because I'm skinny. I'm just a skinny guy. I can't, no matter what I eat, I can't put on the weight. So I might as well give up. Over the past 2.5 years though, I've dedicated a lot of my time to building an aesthetic body. And in order to do that, I've had to put on a lot of weight. As a matter of fact, since my junior year of high school, which is 11th grade or age 16, I've put on about 40 pounds. And now that I'm a little more cut and lean, I'm currently at around 180 pounds, which is sitting roughly about 35 pounds more than I was those couple years ago. And I have to tell you, it's been a life-changing journey. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it and how you can do it actually quicker than I did. You can put on weight faster than I did and build muscle quicker than I did by not falling into the same mistakes that I made when I was on my bulking and workout journey. A quick disclaimer for anyone watching this video who's a skinny guy and actually really feels like they want to learn how to put on the weight, put on the muscle. If you're watching this video purely for entertainment and don't plan on learning anything, you're not going to gain the weight, you are going to stay skinny, and you're going to stay mad at everyone else who goes from skinny to bulked up, and you're going to continue telling yourself, it's because I'm skinny, I can't gain weight no matter how much I eat. You're going to keep telling yourself that. But if you were watching this video with the actual plan to structure yourself to gain the weight, and you actually want to learn how, this video is for you. As a matter of fact, I actually guarantee you that if you follow the steps correctly in this video and do everything correctly, it is impossible for you not to gain weight. I'm guaranteeing it at the beginning of this video. So let's get into it. Now, to address the actual I eat so much all the time and I still can't gain weight argument, which a lot of skinny dudes, and myself included, always talk about, I'm going to show you guys the actual numbers as to why you're probably wrong about that. Now let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Let's hop into the calorie calculator right now. It's a male, age 18, 5'10", 150 pounds with moderate exercise, which is what you should be doing if you're trying to gain weight and muscle, right? So let's calculate that real quick. To maintain your weight, you should be about 2,500 calories a day. Let's keep that in mind. This is to stay at your same weight, if you want to stay, right? If you want to get a mild weight gain, or let's say a normal weight gain, which is about 1 pound a week, you need to be eating 3,000 calories a day. That is 3,000 calories a day on average for the period of your bulk. Otherwise, if you do not eat above this 2,500 calorie threshold, you will not gain weight no matter what. It doesn't matter what you do. So now, to show you exactly what I'm talking about when I say you don't eat as much as you think you do, I'm going to show you the actual numbers. So for a full week of eating 3,000 calories, your total should be at around 21,000 calories, right? So let's say hypothetically that the first day you really go for it, you really grind it out, and you eat those 3,000 calories no matter how much it takes, and it takes everything out of you. I know because I've done this before. And because it was so difficult to eat that 3,000 calories, the next day you just get lazy with your eating. As a skinny guy, it's easy to get lazy with your eating. You don't eat enough throughout the day. So you end up eating the usual 2,100, and that's it. A lot of the days in high school, I would barely eat 2 full meals in the day. This is horrible if you want to gain weight. So I would end up eating something like 1,800 calories, right? You don't even notice. And then you catch yourself slipping up. You're like, oh, I'm supposed to be bulking right now. So you go really overboard one day, let's say. Let's say Wednesday you go super overboard and you go to 3,500. Way above the 3,000 that you needed because you're trying to make up for it. And after eating that massive amount of food in one day, you fall back to your old ways. You go eat a smaller amount, right? And then Friday comes around. You come home from school, you hop on your video games for 6-8 hours, barely even eat. So you end up eating like another 1,800 calorie day. Saturday comes around and you try your best to hop on the diet. Let's say you hit 2,700, for example. You see all these big numbers, all these thousands of calories, and you're like, wow, this is me eating so much. I eat so much all the time. When in reality, you should be hitting an average of 21,000 calories a week in order to gain weight. But what you're actually hitting is 16,900. This is for a hypothetical week. But this is realistic as to what it looks like when a skinny guy eats so much. And this is considering a week where you actually tried to hop on a bulk. Now let's take a look at that number, 16,900. And we divide that by 7 days. Your average amount of calories per day wasn't even enough to hit maintenance. So if you look at the numbers for this week, you didn't even eat enough calories to stay at 150 pounds. This is why you can't gain weight. Because not only do I know that you're not actually committing to a bulk diet, you're not even when you think you're bulking, you're not even eating enough. And this doesn't count for the activity that you're doing throughout the week. So let's say you're doing sports or something else like that. You are simply not eating enough calories. I don't care how much you say you eat. I don't care how much you say you eat so much, even on these 3,500 calorie days. Now, as a skinny guy, I know you're tired of hearing just eat more. So I'm going to stop saying just eat more. But what I am going to say is that it's not really about just eating more. It's what you eat in each meal. One of the foundations of actually gaining weight so that you can gain muscle and size is to eat calorically dense foods. All this means is eating foods that pound for pound are more calories. Let me give you a quick example though. Pound for pound, rice, regular white rice, has way more calories than potatoes do. So for the same 100 grams of rice and 100 grams of potatoes, you're actually going to get almost double the amount of calories from the rice. This is important for when you're choosing what to put in your diet. This is also when I have to mention some of the cheat code foods that you can implement in your diet in order to gain weight. Something like peanut butter, which pound for pound is super dense in calories. I think it's 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is 190 calories. Just think of all the snacks or meals that you could just get a scoop of peanut butter and instantly, boom, you just added 200 calories to your meal. That stuff adds up over time, and it's how you actually end up reaching those 3,000 calorie goals instead of falling behind and not even reaching the amount that you needed to gain weight for that week. The next important step I have to mention to you is eating multiple meals per day. I remember back in high school, the only thing I would do right was eat breakfast. The rest of the day, since I was in school all day, I wouldn't eat the school lunch because I live in New York.
Fuck your life! Bing bong!
But I would eat breakfast and then I wouldn't eat for another 8, 9, maybe 10 hours if I include baseball practice after school. This is horrible if you want to gain weight. How are you going to gain weight by eating more if you don't actually eat more? I would end up eating breakfast and maybe dinner at home, and that was it. 2 meals a day. And if you're someone who gets full easily, eating 2 meals is not going to cut it. I would say if you want to gain weight, eat at least 3 full meals per day, not a snack. There's a big difference between a meal and a snack. The best way I can describe it to you is that a full meal has a decent amount of all 3 macros. Macro, don't get scared of that word. Macros just means proteins, carbs, or fats. A full meal will have a decent amount of all 3 of those. I'm going to spitball to you real quick what you can do for breakfast. A full breakfast meal could be this: 2 eggs, or maybe 3 if you want to add some extra calories that you won't even notice. There's not a big difference between 2 and 3 eggs. A packet of instant oatmeal, the one that you just put hot water and make it easily. A scoop of peanut butter in that oatmeal. You won't even notice that the peanut butter is there. This is a game changer. This is what helped me gain weight. You scoop in a little bit of peanut butter into the hot oatmeal, and then you just have a cup of yogurt. That meal alone, I'm not gonna lie, I've eaten it countless times, is the reason why I was able to go from 140 pounds when I was 16 to 195 pounds by last year. Being able to stack up foods that you won't notice in a meal is how you add on those calories. And when you end up doing that for at least 3 meals a day, that's when you're gonna see the big differences in when you gain weight. The next thing I have to mention is snacks. The stuff that you eat in between the big jumps between your meals. Snacks don't necessarily have to be a big, heavy meal. Something as easy as peanut butter on toast, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm gonna be talking about peanut butter a lot, guys. I'm not talking about it for no reason. It's a game changer. And most importantly, and most game changing of everything I'm talking about, is liquid calories in the form of shakes. If you start learning how to make a proper shake, it's gonna change the entire course of how you've been trying to gain weight. You can fit 1,000 calories into a 30-ounce shake. You can fit 1,000 calories into one shake. Do you know how much a plate of food that's 1,000 calories looks like? It's huge. It's a lot of food. But once you start learning how to implement things into a shake, like a protein shake, that can stack up those calories, you're gonna realize how much easier it is. I'm gonna give you a quick recipe, for free. I'm gonna give you a quick recipe on how to make a super high calorie shake. Ready? So first, you're gonna take 8 to 10 ounces of milk. Let's say 10 ounces of milk. Next, you're gonna get a scoop or 2 of protein powder, if you're able to access protein powder. So that's 10 ounces of milk, a couple scoops of protein powder. Next, you're gonna add a tablespoon of honey and a scoop of peanut butter, 1 banana, and 1 cup of Greek yogurt, the kind that has a lot of protein. That alone is so many calories packed into one shake. And that's that's a meal's worth of calories that you just packed into one shake right there. If you have, let's say, just 1 of those kinds of shakes a day, in addition to your 3 meals and your snacks, like a peanut butter sandwich, peanut butter and jelly, maybe a tuna sandwich, you're gonna see the weight fly on, and you're gonna see the muscle fly on, and you're gonna be very happy with the results. I'm telling you guys, these are the tips that I learned on my own, that I had to struggle to learn how it actually works in order to put on 45 pounds within a couple years. Now that I'm telling you this information, you could probably do the same in even less amount of time. If you really do want to gain the weight, I want you to take this seriously. I'm giving you a plan right now. If you want to reach 3,000 calories a day, it's very simple. Have 3 meals a day that have an average of 700 calories, and then have 3 snacks a day that have an average of 300 calories. Like, mathematically, that's how you hit 3,000 calories a day. If you want to take an even easier shortcut, because this is all about shortcuts, right? You can have that same structure, cut out 2 of the snacks, and just have 1 big shake a day. Maybe before dinner, maybe like after lunch, maybe after breakfast, or maybe even after you eat dinner if you eat dinner early. Have 1 of those big shakes a day. This is all you really need in order to gain the weight. This video is getting a little long, so in a future video, I'm going to try to detail some of the specific meals that I ate in order to gain weight and to have a high amount of protein intake, because that is very important if you want to gain muscle. But I hope that so far you guys really take into consideration the kind of plan that I'm setting here. The last and the most important part of this video is committing. You have to commit to this long term. It's far too often that you see someone say that they're gonna do something and then they start it and then they don't actually ever follow through with it. That was me for a while. Until the pandemic, until like quarantine hit, I told myself that I wanted to gain weight for like the previous 2 years, like from age 14 to like age 16. I told myself, yeah, I should gain weight. But I never actually did anything to do it, to actually achieve that goal. It took a lot of time before I actually took it upon myself to start doing that. And once you start and you really grind it out, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very hard that first week, that first 2 weeks, those first 3 weeks of you eating 3,000 calories a day as a skinny guy. That's going to be so hard. But once you start learning the little tips, the little tricks of, oh, I should eat this at this time. Oh, I should have my shake at this time so that I'll be hungry by the time that comes around. Or keep in mind that you're going to be very hungry after your workout. So you eat your biggest meal of the day then. Yeah, once you start learning that stuff, it gets easier and easier. Now I'm at a weight currently around 180 pounds and I'm pretty lean and muscular where I have to eat 3,000 calories a day in order to stay at my weight. So you'll learn as you go along, but you have to commit to it first. Commit to it for 3 months. I challenge you to that. Commit to this for 3 months and you won't even need me to say to continue because you're going to be so proud of your progress. Committing is the most important part. Remember that. That's it for today though. Remember, winners win, losers lose. Go be a winner.